There's a base in the desert in Iraq that they forward operate from, so they can get into Syria and stuff. So if I understand correctly, they're going to be in that area. I don't know that they won't put them in support roles for the IDF. I think
Athlone TV is now live.
workforce would be
Streaming World of
two units to
Warcraft,
share units that are
Vanilla
in the
WoW
area
Classic
that are
Era
on
Whitemane PvP / leveling.
Delta doesn't have enough units where they'd be a big support role. They're usually because there's only a few hundred. There's maybe like 500.
They have generals embedded with the Israel military.
I'm not so sure which service. Advising is for.
How is this the best way to fucking level up? Dude. Actually annoying. Why am I doing this, chat? Torturing myself.
person who's probably already dead as I'm talking about it right now. Alright, so on to the sad part of this video. So yeah, so I failed to follow my own rules. I didn't have a swiftness potion. If I had a swiftness potion, I would have easily survived that. I am an idiot. Now I could, and you guys will have to comment in the comments below. I'm not kidding about this. So I am highly unmotivated to try hardcore again, and I'm going to explain why. If you guys really, really, really fucking want me to do it, I will actually try hardcore again. But if I don't get some Patreon support, or you guys aren't like upvoting the shit out of this video, or you guys aren't just pressuring, basically bullying the shit out of me with peer pressure in the comments below, I am not fucking doing hardcore again, and I want you to at least hear out why that is. All right, hear me out on this. All right, number one. Okay, so the first thing I want you to notice is that my current time over here in frickin' China is like 2:34 a.m. So I've discovered that the only time that I can actually be up in China and play effectively hardcore without lag is between the hours of like 2 a.m. and basically like 7 a.m. So like 5 hours a day at like horrifyingly early hours, which is just a nightmare. But it's the only time period I can really do it, and therefore level safely in Classic World of Warcraft and have any kind of real fun. Also, even when I do this, I do get lag spikes every now and then where I just lose control of my character for like 30 seconds, and it's incredibly nerve-wracking, and I'm not having fun with it whatsoever. So between the random lag that I'll get from time to time and the hours that I have to put into it, and the reward that I'm getting out of it, I'm just highly unmotivated to do this stupid Classic World of Warcraft hardcore thing. It's a super pain in the ass, and I really don't. It's not fun for me. Is basically what I'm trying to say. I'm basically doing it as a job, and in my opinion, there's nothing really new for me to learn about anything other than all the little ways I can fuck up and fail to follow my own guides and get killed. Holy crap. What else is there to say? That's about it. I guess that's my only real complaint about the whole hardcore thing. Oh, the only other thing is something you guys won't care about, which is it's really digging into my work with other things. Because again, in order to play this, I basically have to screw up my sleep schedule, which means rather than sleeping 8 hours a day, I'm sleeping 12 hours a day, so that I can be up late at night, sleeping during the day, that kind of thing. It just sucks, and basically it's hurting my other projects that I'm supposed to be working on, like my video game and yada yada yada. The other reason why I'm not super interested in playing Classic hardcore is a petty personal reason, and I'll spit it to you guys really fast here. So Classic, the Classic dev team came out with Season of Discovery, and I made multiple videos on my thoughts on it, but this one guy's comment here I think might as well be speak for me on the subject, where he says, "Players, we just want new vanilla content, dungeons, raids, etc. Blizzard, how about rogues that can tank?" And that's exactly how I feel about the subject, almost one-to-one, where it's like, let me get this straight, they're proposing that I play retail WoW, but in the Classic World of Warcraft world. How about fuck you and no? Is basically my take on that. But no matter what Blizzard was going to come out with, my stance on the subject was very simple. And that was, I don't care what you do, Blizzard, give us fresh, classic, no change servers. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're coming out with some retail garbage nonsense that I'm going to hate. Just give us classic, fresh, no changes servers. I asked for classic, fresh, no change servers when TBC came out. They did not give us that. If you think Season of Mastery was a fresh, no changes server, you're out of your damn mind. When Wrath of the Lich King came out, I asked for classic, fresh, no change servers. They did not do that. Now they're coming out with Cataclysm and Season of Discovery, but guess what also they're not coming out with? Classics, fresh, no changes servers. When this happens and Blizzard does this, I become a highly motivated human being to unsubscribe to Blizzard, to stop playing for quite some time, and to stop playing videos or making videos for like 3 or 4 months until eventually I come back and I want to make videos again for whatever reason. So A combination of dying in classic WoW hardcore and this season of discovery stuff with no fresh, no changes is getting me in the mood for just disappearing from making videos for like the next 6 months or so until people come to the realization that season of discovery is actually a season of disappointment. Anyways,
Now for Paladin, it doesn't look like it's gonna be fun.
my final thoughts on the subject are that I find all of this to be poetically ironic. Why is that? Because I am known as I'm the PvP guide paladin who does not actually PvP because I never actually got a two-handed weapon for my paladin in Classic World of Warcraft. Insanely bad luck, but I never managed to get a two-handed weapon for my paladin in Classic World of Warcraft. And you can't PvP as a paladin without a two-handed weapon. Or you can make PvP videos, but it'd be like meme videos. And you can do all right. You can kill this class and that class, but it's just stupid. There's nothing to learn from it. Get a damn two-handed weapon. So I am the PvP paladin, PvP guide making paladin that doesn't PvP. And then now, poetically, ironically, I'm also the hardcore PvE guide paladin that can't make it to 60 on hardcore servers, which I find hilariously amusing. So it's like I can lead other people to victory in PvP and to win PvP tournaments, but I can't actually make PvP videos myself. And now I can lead other people to 60 in hardcore and change the meta and everything, but I can't actually make it myself. So at this point, I'm just like, well, fuck, you know, what it is what it is. Current plans that I did have were, I can jump on Battle.net here real fast, I think. Jeez, why not? It'll take a million years. But the current plans that I did have were basically, a lot of them, I think, in my opinion, were somewhat killed by a stupid season of Discovery. So, of course, I was doing the hardcore thing, but I died because I'm stupid and I suck. I really like grouping up with people and helping people, and it kind of pisses me off that I can't do that in classic hardcore because they'll get me killed, I'm not going to lie. Option one was I wanted to solo as many of the bosses in Classic World of Warcraft as I possibly could with a paladin, just showcasing what paladins could actually do. So we're talking like, you know, Dead Mines, Shadowfang Keep, Scarlet Cathedral, Swamp of Sorrows, like, you know, not Swamp of Sorrows, Sunken Temple, all that stuff. But with Season of Mastery coming out, like, I don't know who the hell's going to be interested in that, so that's kind of stupid. Yeah, my poor paladin here still doesn't have his two-handed weapon. I can show you real fast. I've had this forever. Right here it is, my sulfur and hammer that I've had forever, and I got my only weapon that I have that's a decent two-hander is Jeklicks. But other than that, I got every piece of gear in the game that you could possibly want, like rank 13 gear, yada yada yada. I don't have Burrow or Shell Trinket. That's one thing that I could really like, or the 100 all resistances trinket from what the hell is it? AQ 40. Yeah. And the only other thing I was even remotely thinking about was go over here, picking on Peaceblade. To try to get me into the, help me get into the Henhouse server. And I could, where I'd actually get access to the gear and I could showcase dueling against paladins, so I could officially stop making guides and actually show any PvP videos. But again, Season of Discovery is coming out, so who the hell is going to be interested in that? Like, I would be making classic WoW content for classic WoW when all this Season of Discovery stuff is going to be the new and greatest thing for at least the next 3 months until people realize that it's actually, they're literally just playing retail in the world of classic World of Warcraft. So I think, ladies and gentlemen, that I just have to kind of disappear for a little while, like 3 months. So my master plan is to go work on my my video game, basically. Whenever I pull up this here and I pick up my videos, or I get my MS Paint stuff, you can probably see some of the craziness here. A lot of these images are associated specifically with the game, but I definitely need to go work on that. Oh yeah, this video right here. This is my F Drakova video. That's Drakova. If you don't know, that's his wife. Yeah, that's his name. You can go pick on him if you want in real life. Fuck that guy. I was so pissed off about him not coming back in Classic WoW. I basically doxed him. I'm like, fuck you. Go. Actually, literally looks like his paladin character. I find that so funny. And no wonder he always does that hairstyle in Classic WoW. That's actually kind of cool. What else we got going on here? Yeah, that's about it. But yeah, so I gotta go work on my video game. I think I'm gonna go do that for a few months. I've been putting it off, making all these damn WoW videos for you guys. But yeah, if you guys want to bully me in the comment section and peer pressure the shit out of me, or support me on Patreon, to actually go, if you want to be like, fuck you, Pally Time, like, you know, have $50, go.
There's
try
gotta be a
World of
faster way to
Warcraft
level
again.
up my fucking fishing, man.
I'll go try hardcore again, and I will 100% follow my rules from now on. Speed potions, not grouping up with people, not fucking around whatsoever. But other than that, I am 100% excited to wash my hands of this hardcore crap for a few months and go work on my...
I have a quick question. I'm currently 210 fishing. I'm fishing in a zone that's 225, but I'm catching almost every cast. The question I have in reference to bait. I use a plus 50 food bait, which brings my fishing to 260, and I'm fishing in the 225 level zone. Will it slow down? Will it slow down how much level compared to using bait? Or would it be better to farm a higher level fishing zone and use the bait that brings the zone level? Been fishing up to 300 myself. With the bait won't slow down your leveling progression from my experience, just makes it easier to catch fish. No an official response, but my experience. Somewhere north of 200 skill, I found it takes 5 to 6 fish to get a skill up. It's painfully slow. Near 300, it's about 10 fish per. If I use 50 plus food bait, which brings my fishing, you see I'm fishing. No, fishing leveling gets slower as you level up. There's nothing really that affects it other than luck and the ability to catch fish on every cast. Okay, so it's the best to use the highest possible food. Where you fish only matters if you want to catch types of fish. You can level 0 to 300 in a starter zones. Do so properly, probably easier and faster. In the higher level zones, it takes forever to get the slower to increase your skill. Fishing skill increases based on the number of successful catches. And in early levels, it's basically 1 catch, 1 skill point. But by the 200s, IIRC, it's around 8 or so per skill point, if not more. I tested this by comparing places like BB to fishing just outside Ironforge and Ice Lake in the skill gain. Bait is only for raging or skill catch fish you wouldn't otherwise be able to, and fewer of the fish that got away messages. Fishing doesn't matter where you fish for skill ups. You can get 300 fishing in Org/Stormwind. At the higher level, it will take 5+ catches for skill up regardless of fish in noob area or higher level area. Well, if that's the fucking case, then why don't we go fucking fish somewhere we can actually make gold? The Moonstone lines. Fish in the marked lake until you reach 300. Any other inland water and perilous can be fished except for Minar Lake. Don't forget to use lures to prevent the fish from getting away. Best fishing location. modifications to make gold in vanilla. Wow. If it's found in a pool, the pool name will be listed. Minimum fishing level. This is the minimum level of fishing you need to fish in this area. Some higher level zones have a minimum level above 300, meaning you need to enhance your base fishing skill with special equipment such as fishing poles, plus fishing poles, equipment, lures, etc. It will be called out in red. Avoid getting away. This is the minimum level of fishing you need to avoid the dreaded your fish got away and no catch. Type, coastal or inland. Best zones. This will give a full list of the lowest level zones and the highest catch rates. Fish can only be caught in a specific area of a zone. It will be noted here. For example, some fish in Stranglethorn Vale only can be caught off Jangarango Isle. Special requirements. Some fish can only be caught in specific times of the year. Blah, blah, blah. Farming spots and all classic A through Z. Dark lobster. 330. We're getting away. 425. Type coastal. Best zone. Shara. 45%. What are you getting? 75. Inland. Large raw mite fish. Question, comment, sparkle motion, every. Ren recommends black oil oil. Dark Shore and Westfall. Farming deviate fish. Fishing for buff food. Winter squid, raw nightfire and snapper, sunscale salmon. Fish for oils. Sunscale eel, firefin, oily blackmouth. Flying fish can be farmed at lower levels. It's a good way to earn gold for your mount. Why isn't this website loading? Fishing, it's super boring. I make a bit of gold from savory deviant delights, but I really want real gold. Anyone know a good spot to make gold from fishing? I saw a video of someone getting pets from fishing in Booty Bay, but I spent 40 minutes there and got the rocks I caught. Also, communist Blizz removed my thread about Blizz has no soul and must be working for Legion, so I hashtag I stand with Hong Kong. Jesus. This won't last long. Probably about 90% of today's gamers only want to click report and get people banned. I agree with your last point. As for fishing, check the auction house, see what fish consumables are selling. Very much depends on your specific server. There's a long thread last night. It hasn't been censored on China's situation. You have to fish in schools of fish or wreckage to get chests. Run up and down the southern shoreline, fish every pool. Chest is best version. Chests in this version have been nerfed to hell. Greens are rare. I've got not a single one. Wetlands in Menifel Harbor, not pools, just anywhere. Catch stuff off for alchemy there.
Making Golden Classic is not an easy task, and at the lower levels, it can make you feel hopeless when looking at the cost for your level 40 mount. That's why today I'm going to show you how to make the gold you need with your fishing and cooking professions. It's not necessary for you to do this, but it does create a very lucrative opportunity for you as you're leveling. Please understand that the auction house selling prices are going to fluctuate depending on your server economy, so the earning potential I show you are the average prices that I have seen on several markets. Before we begin, it is important for you to roughly understand what fishing skill level you need per zone. This chart makes it simple for you, but in general, just take a look at the zone's level you're in and multiply that level by 5 to figure out the fishing skill you'll need. Keep in mind that this is the bare minimum you'll need to fish in those waters, and that a higher skill level will be needed for a 100% catch rate. I will talk more on how you can raise your static fishing skill later in the video. Because of the level of creatures in most zones you will be fishing in, I wouldn't suggest you start fishing for gold until at least level 20. The earliest fish that can create some wealth is the deviant fish, and you will need a minimum of 50 in your fishing skill to catch them. It can be caught from the 3 forgotten pools in the Barrens, and also inside the Whaling Caverns. This makes it far more difficult for Alliance players to farm, but also makes it more lucrative for Alliance players because of that reason. A stack of 20 deviant fish will earn Alliance players between 2 and 8 gold, but Horde players might only see an average of half that amount. Additionally, you can cook deviant fish to become Savory Deviant Delight, which doesn't provide a buff, but instead can change you randomly into a pirate or ninja. These are generally sold in pairs for 1 or 2 gold each. Deviant fish are also a reagent for elixirs of giant growth, so if you're an alchemist, keep an eye on the market to see what is selling better at what time. In general, a single elixir of giant growth will also sell for 1 or 2 gold. The next fish you're going to want to look for will require a minimum fishing skill between 150 and 225. Make sure you're using lures if you're still below 200. The 2 fish are oily blackmouth and firefin snapper. These fish can be caught in fishing pools only, and those pools in turn are only found on the coastlines. If you're still in the level 20 range, you will find these pools in Darkshore and Menethil Harbor for the Alliance, and Silverpine and the Barrens for the Horde. When you reach level 30, it will be safer for you to start fishing along the Savage Coast and the wetlands. Booty Bay is also a great spot for these 2 fish as well. Remember that these 2 fish can be found on nearly every coastline, so as you go up in level, you'll have more zones open up to you to catch them. A stack of oily blackmouth will get you 5 to 10 gold, and firefin snapper will fetch around 4 to 8 gold per stack. Oily blackmouth and firefin snapper can be used to make blackmouth oil and fire oil, which are reagents for several more items created by alchemists. Those items are shown here and will generally sell individually at the following prices. Perhaps the most lucrative fish on any server is stone scale eel, but it is also the most competitive. This is because stone scale eel creates the stone scale oil, which is the reagent for the highly needed endgame consumable called Flask of the Titans. The pools are found in coastal waters only, and perhaps the most popular spot to find stone scale pools is at Steamweedle Port in Tanaris. There is another spot that's not as competitive, and that's here along the Savage Coast in Stranglethorn Vale. Other areas where you will find them are in Feralis, Ashara, and the Hinterlands. A stack of stone scale eel will earn you 20 to 30 gold. That about does it for the alchemy fish, so let's talk about fish with lucrative cooking recipes. The first one we'll talk about is greater sagefish, and it can be caught from pools found in lakes, ponds, and rivers. I have found these pools most frequently along the river in the Cape of Stranglethorn, but they can also be found in Feralis, Arathi Highlands, Hillsbrad Foothills, and the Hinterlands. It is also the reagent for the recipe Sagefish Delight, so keep an eye on the auction house to see which one will earn you the most profit. On average, both will be worth anywhere between 2 and 8 gold per stack. The remaining fish you can catch to earn gold will require you to have a skill of 300. As you level your fishing and cooking to their maximum, you will end up catching several stacks of nightfin snapper and sunscale salmon. The frequency that you will catch either of these fish depend on the server times, which are shown here. Nightfin snapper will fetch you a decent amount of gold, but where it really reaches its earning potential is being cooked and sold as nightfin soup. A stack of nightfin soup will earn you nearly as much as stone scale eel, with an average sale price of 15 to 25 gold per stack. Sunscale salmon won't earn you as much, and just like nightfin snapper, should be cooked to earn more. Poached sunscale salmon is what you will cook, and you can sell a stack for about 1 to 5 gold. 2 fish are dependent upon when you're fishing, but for these, it's not about the actual time you're fishing, but rather the season. The 2 fish I'm referring to is that of winter squid and summer bass. Winter squid can be caught between the autumn and spring equinoxes, and back in 2004, that was from September 23rd through March 19th. Now we have to assume it will work the same way in Classic, so whatever day the winter equinox begins, you can assume you can fish for winter squid. The best locations to catch winter squid is at the Bay of Storms in Ashara, but can also be caught with less frequency in Feralis, the Hinterlands, and Tanaris. It is a valuable item on the auction house because it can be cooked to make grilled squid, which is a popular food buff for rogues and hunters. When in season, a stack of grilled squid will earn you 5 to 15 gold, but when not in season, that average will likely go up to about 10 to 20. Summer bass can be caught between the spring and autumn equinoxes. It can be fished for in the same location as winter squid, and can be cooked to become hot smoked bass, which provides a plus 10 spirit buff. This is not nearly as sought after as the winter squid, and so I generally don't purposefully go after this fish to produce any kind of wealth. However, if you're in Ashara, you're going to inevitably catch some while you're fishing for large raw mitefish. Large raw mitefish can be cooked to mitefish steak, which provides a popular food buff for tanking classes. For the highest catch frequency, you will want to get yourself to Scalebeard's Cave, which is located here in Ashara. A stack of mitefish steak will get you around 5 to 10 gold. The extra summer bass or winter squid you catch in this area will make this spot all the more lucrative. More gold making opportunities lie outside of cooking fish, and so now I want to talk about pools of wreckage. When you fish in a pool of wreckage, you will be fishing for trunks, and the type of trunk you get will be determined by the level of zone that you are fishing in. The pools of wreckage are mostly found in coastal waters, but that's not always the case. Now here I will take a moment to show you what the most common items each type of trunk will drop. These items are always in demand at the auction house, so the more you catch, the more profits you will be able to turn. The price point for the items shown here all vary greatly, so your potential gold per hour will depend on your own server economy. We're done talking about profits, so now let's take a moment to discuss how we can increase our fishing skill. In the highest level zones, you will need a fishing skill of 425 in order to not lose any fish. Since our skill is maxed at 300, we'll need a lot of help, and so your best bet to make that increase is with fishing lures. All lures are attached to your fishing pole and will provide their buff for 10 minutes except for the aquadynamic fish attractor, which lasts for only 5 minutes. The most common lure you're going to be using is the bright bauble, which gives you a plus 75 bonus to your fishing, which means we need to find 50 more skill points. So now, let's talk about fishing poles. At early levels, the Alliance has a quest in Darkshore that will get them the Blunt family fishing pole, or you can buy a strong fishing pole, but those don't provide the buffs we're really looking for. What you really need is something like the Big Iron fishing pole, which can be found in the shell traps at the Sarthair Strand in Desolus, and gives a plus 20 fishing bonus. You will generally want to be at least level 30 before you go searching for it. Horde players have access to a slightly better fishing pole that gives a plus 25 fishing bonus from a quest available at level 44 by Katoom the Angler in Raventusk Village. However, the granddaddy of them all is the Arcanite fishing pole, which can only be won by successfully winning the Stranglethorn Fishing Extravaganza held every Sunday at 2 p.m. The last items you need to reach that 425 magic number is the Lucky Fishing Hat, Nat Pagel's Extreme Anglin Boots, and High Test Eternian Fishing Line, which all provide an additional plus 5 fishing skill each. These are all rewards for turning in rare fish during the Stranglethorn Fishing Extravaganza in Booty Bay. If you enjoyed this guide, please make Nat Pagel proud and like and subscribe to be notified of new content I create for WoW Classic. I hope you found it helpful and learned of a new source of income to help you pay for your training.
Oh, this was the play. I just needed to get lures. Yeah, this is top tier content right here. Fuck yeah. Hanging out with my cat, Broken Tooth. What's up? Any more pools? Any more pools? Any more pools? Hey, 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 hey. I mean, I kind of know where I need to go. I might get ganked. But it's okay. Glad my buff doesn't go away. Can't wait for some fuck to try to gank me while I'm over here. Gonna happen. Oh, I see a dead corpse. Corpse of hippie. I see pools. Got a mithril trunk? It's got a winter squid? Damn, how much does that bitch go for? No way. Is it?
Inventory is full.
Hmm. Hmm. That's one way to get fucking leather, huh? Holy blackmail, stone scale. Oh, fuck you.
What you want to get from fishing? Anything good?
There's certain things you want to fish for gold. I would say arguably the best one is stone scale eel, which is what this fucker just took from me, which was what I was about to grab, but oily blackmouth is good, deviate light fish is good, winter squid is decent. But yeah, I would say the best is probably stone scale, and then after that, I mean, you can get some crazy stuff. You can get like epics that drop, like rares that drop from fucking like trunks and stuff. Firefin's decent. So this is the main one I wanted to go for, but he took it. So we're just gonna finish this and then just keep going up and down this coast. Trying to get my fishing up to 255 so I can level up my cooking. Basically trying to fish for my epic mount at this point. Fish. The problem is I'm a miner and I'm an engineer, which they're good professions for making gold, but not the best. The best is herbalism. You want to make gold, just fucking be an herbalist. Herbalism and alchemy. Tailoring's pretty decent, but yeah, there's just nothing like. And if you're trying to speed level while making gold, just be an herbalist and a skinner. Nothing beats it. It's literally the best. So, but I'm not a skinner. I do PvP, so like I'm about to kill this guy right now. Sorry, my dude. We kill alliance players. Oh damn. But he's gonna be mad, and he'll be back. Gotta get that PvP in somehow, you know what I'm saying? We gotta get it in there. That's mainly what we do. We PvP. Ooh, don't want to fuck this mage up.
I like best herbalism and engineer, but hard to LVL engineer without mining.
That smell is already. I'm still recharging. Killing spree. The smell is already. Killing spree. I need to get closer. I'm still recharging. Not enough mana. Rampage.
I think they're gonna be mad. Firefin? Dude, mages are actually gonna be so broken in Season of Discovery. They're gonna have they're gonna be able to heal, man. That's so retarded. They're already broken. I think mages and paladins are gonna be disgustingly broken. Paladins are gonna be nuts. Warriors are actually gonna be every class is gonna be broken, I swear. I don't know what I feel like Hunter is not gonna be that good though. Just my feelings on it. We gotta hurry up and fish this before these angry fucks come back.
I think they changed too much. Why not add small things like taunt for paladin, etc.?
Oh, there's a rogue here.
Instead of revamp every class.
Stone skill. I want this one. There's a fucking rogue over here fucking with me though. It's a season, right? So it's like, whatever. What do we have? We have potions. We have everything. We have cooldowns. Nice. And we got our skill up to 241. That's what we like to see, baby. Give me another one. See, my main is actually a paladin. The paladin sucks in classic, so the changes that are coming, I know paladin's gonna be nuts. Oh, daddy's making money tonight. Fuck, man, there's like this mosquito in my room. I gotta kill this motherfucker. I don't have anything to kill it with, though. Land somewhere so I can kill you. Hurry up. Thank you. I gotta kill this fucking mosquito. Where'd it go? Fuckers are gonna kill me while I'm AFK, man. I don't know. I heard the level cap is going to be like 25 or 30. And if that's the case, it sounds like it's going to be very fucking boring. I don't know how I feel about that. That's the one thing that's got me like concerned. If that's true. We'll see though.
I can't carry anymore.
Ooh, I kind of want that too. Fuck, I kind of want that too. Well, our inventory is full. What do we do? Rugged leather is kind of shit. Thick leather is kind of shit. Get rid of thick leather. I guess I lost that fish, huh? Damn. This isn't really leveling up my fucking fishing skill as much as I thought it was going to. I guess it just naturally slows down no matter what. Would like to get it to 255, but getting there is the trick. $242. Nice. Maybe those guys are back so we can kill them. Got a Shadow Priest. How much further can I go down? I can go down this way, right? I need to go swim though. Oh, look at this motherfucker. Mom Druid. He's got to be fishing too. I can't believe I can still ride that. Oh, damn. Got far. Oh, that's a big boy. What the hell? What the hell? I don't know if we can fish over here. These are strong boys. This guy's gonna be a cock. These fucking turtles are gonna be cocks. Bro, I'm fishing over here. Fuck off, Druid. You and your epic mount, bitch. I don't know if we can fish over here. Might not be able to. Bro, why are you cucking me so hard? Hey, you missed a pool. Ah, shit. Well. Oh, shit. Well, you win. I don't think I can fish over here. That's fine. We need to go to the auction house anyways and sell this stuff. Alright, so we're at the point where we don't care. We don't need to load that anymore. Alright, let's just go to the auction house. Let's make some gold. We just made another 50 gold right there, easy. That took me like, what, 10 minutes? Including flying. Not bad. Probably more like 30 gold. Hello. Level 60. Go get him. Go get him, Warlock. Are you guys fucking over here anyways? I forget if Caverns of Time is anything of importance in vanilla. I don't think you go there for anything. The new expansions actually might be fucking good. Retail actually might be decent now that Chris Metzen is back. When they need to get fucking rid of Ian Acostas, where the fuck his name is. Terrible. Lead developer for fucking WoW. All the dog shit systems. Fuck, I can't mine that. It sucks. My inventory's full. Rip. Fine. The problem is I have so many fucking questing items on right now. It's actually insane. How the fuck? I was so far away. That's bullshit. I'm gonna pat back this way. Yeah. Fly to Ratchet. What are you fucking dweebs doing? Really, bro?
Where would you like to fly to? Go for it.
Later, dipshit. You just got fucking outplayed, bitch. Hard. I wonder how mad that kid is. Imagine being level 60, ganking someone 10 levels lower than you. And getting outplayed. Fucking noob. Two more weeks of AV hell. Dropping Xanalar buff in 10 minutes. Fuck yeah, I bet. I want that buff. Hey, if anyone's on Whitemane, you're about to get Xanalar buffs going. About to go down. I'm gonna watch a movie. Perfect form.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to give you some quick tips to help clean up your form on the high to low cable fly. And if you're new to my channel, you should know that I have hundreds of videos to help you correct your form on a multitude of exercises on my website, muscularstrength.com, all organized by body part and level of difficulty. So before we dive in, know at any time that you can click this link right here for a free 7-day trial of my website, where you can not only check out the videos on proper form, but gain access to my custom meal planner and 12-week workout programs as well. All right, so when it comes to the high to low cable fly, there are 3 golden rules you should always keep in mind, and the first one is that you must maintain proper alignment. This is because a slight shift in the wrong direction can take this exercise from training your chest to placing a lot of unwanted stress on your shoulders and rotator cuff. So what's the proper setup and alignment for the high to low cable fly? Well, the first thing you should always check is the height of the pulleys, and they should be about the same height as your head. And then from here, grab the handles and step a few feet away from the cable station so the weight that you're lifting never touches the rest of the stack during your set. Then once you're in place, you're gonna stagger your feet for more stability and balance. Keep your knees slightly bent so that the weight doesn't pull you backwards. And for added stability, you can engage your glutes and flex your core with a slight arch in your back. And then from here, make sure your shoulder blades are retracted and depressed, and be sure to maintain a slight bend in your elbows to avoid stressing the elbow joint and your biceps. And now that might seem like a lot to think about right now, but it will become second nature extremely fast. Trust me. Now, golden rule number 2 is all about execution, and the rule here is that your hands need to come together under your chest. Chances are, if you've never really felt a cable fly in your chest, this is the reason. As you initiate the fly motion, you need to bring your hands together from underneath the chest, almost like you're creating a slight cupping motion. Chances are, if you've never really felt a cable fly in your chest, this is the reason. As you initiate the fly motion, you need to bring your hands together from underneath the chest, almost like you're creating a slight scooping motion. It's not just back and forth in a straight line. However, you'll never be able to recreate this form if your shoulders are not retracted and depressed at the start of each rep. And what ends up happening to most people, especially as they increase the weight, is that they start to roll their shoulders forward, which ends up taking most of the tension out of the chest as the load transfers to the deltoids, rotator cuffs, and serratus. So until you nail down proper form, it might be best for you to slightly pause before each rep and make sure your chest is up and your shoulders are packed. And as for golden rule number 3, do not rush the movement. And I really mean it when I say briefly pause before each rep, because you're wasting your time if you're completing your reps as fast as you can. Cable flies, they're not an explosive exercise. They're meant to be a controlled movement to help you focus on creating resistance throughout the entire range of motion for the most overall activation in your chest. Yeah, you can go heavy here, but if you trained your chest hard enough on compound movements like the flat or incline bench press, you should be able to focus on bringing out the ultimate pump here with moderate weight, sitting in a rep range of about 8 to 10 repetitions. Be sure to like and subscribe if you'd like to see more quick tutorial videos like this. And remember, you can join my site for 7 days free by clicking this link right here if you'd like to access my entire database, meal planner, and custom 12-week muscle building programs. And as
Oh my god, leather is so shit.
soon. See you guys.
It's so shit. Look at... Dude, herbalism is insane. It is insane.
Getting more of a lengthened contraction?
Okay.
Yeah, almost certainly.
Hey, what?
Can 2 men have babies?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought.
You say it's a natural law that I don't have a choice on who I marry.
Yeah.
It's natural law that I don't choose who I marry. That's not fair.
No, hold on a second.
I choose who I marry.
Why does your own choice matter more than what is true?
So
What is true?
what do you mean
Exactly.
what is true?
That's what we've been
does that
talking
mean?
about the last 2 hours. What is true? What is good? What is beautiful? This is what you guys should be. This is what we should be thinking. Oh, does it come down to you? Come on. So let me ask you a question. So it comes down to you. Wait.
Hold it, let me hold it, come on.
No, we hold it. So was Hitler right when it comes down to you?
No,
Why?
because he just fundamentally disagrees with my beliefs about
Your beliefs, but
Exactly.
Hitler's beliefs killed the Jews. Why was he wrong?
Oh, sorry. Can I just quickly say something about how we just went from talking about the government controlling marriage to Hitler for some reason?
No, but you,
Can we finish talking
I've
about
listened to your argument for
government
20 minutes. It makes no sense. Totally respectful. Like, you've made no sense for 20 minutes. So I'm going to get to
Please,
somebody
guys,
else. So,
listen to what you just said.
Yeah.
I mean, all I've been talking about is the government controlling marriage.
I've been super
It's very
patient.
clear
I've been super patient. Makes no sense.
I
So,
can say things don't make
it's got-
sense all day. I mean, it's really not that hard.
yeah, got it. Okay, so just question. So, why was Hitler wrong?
Why was Hitler wrong? I mean, you can write a whole essay about that.
Well, tell me one sentence as to why Hitler was objectively wrong.
To me? I mean, to
No,
himself,
no.
he was right.
Of course he was. So there's something above you and above Hitler that we're comparing right to. What is that something?
Morality.
Where do we get that from?
How you come up, where you're from, your parents, your culture, I mean, the place you live. I mean, a lot of different
So
things.
are some moralities better or right, more right than wrong than other moralities?
I would say no, because it just comes down to you personally.
Okay, so the Taliban believes it's okay to rape 8-year-old boys called T-boys. Are they wrong?
To me, yes, they are wrong, but to themselves, they think it's right.
Is there... Are they objectively wrong?
Okay, what is an objective? What is the objective?
Well, hold on. Objectively, looking
According
outside,
to what?
right and wrong.
That comes down to me. And to me, they're wrong. But to them, they're right.
Wow.
I mean, what? That is how it is.
So let me ask you. So the Nazi guards at concentration camps, they thought they were doing right. Were they doing right?
No.
In your opinion or objectively?
In my opinion, no.
But what if they were to say we were doing right?
Well, then we have an argument, me and them. And then we have a fight, and then we have a war, and then it is what it is. That's how it is.
When somebody goes and rapes a woman here on campus, are they wrong?
Yes.
Why?
Because that is something you should not do.
Oh, so they should not do. Hold on a
should not
second.
do it.
You just did a should statement. You didn't do a should statement with the Taliban with little boys. What does should mean?
I mean-
What are you comparing should to?
Myself?
Are you?
Yes.
So it's your morality that
Yes.
triumphs over any objective laws.
I mean, not technically. I mean, at the end of the day, I can do whatever I want. I mean, I'll end up in jail. I'll end up, wherever I end up. But, it's whatever world you live in.
Is that the way we should design society? Everyone does what's ever right in their own eyes?
I mean, no, because it would be kind of chaos at the end of the day.
I agree. So then what standard should we then derive morality from other than opinion?
I mean, there's a lot of standards across the world. I mean, wherever you go, there's different life standards. I mean, the life standards we have here versus South America, Asia,
I
Africa,
agree.
it's all completely different.
Are some better than
I'm
others?
not done. Are some better than others? I mean, it comes down to where you're from. I think, wait, let me finish. I think the standard we have here in America is one of the best ones.
But now
And
you're
I
using
do
different
think-
words.
No, let me finish,
Should,
let me
best.
finish.
So some things are better than others. And then the question is, what is the ultimate good? You're climbing the ladder, you're getting closer.
It comes down to you.
Does it?
Yes, it does. What is the ultimate good? It's my world. I live in my own world with my things. What I think is good is what I think is good.
You don't understand that's one of the most narcissistic
Yes,
things.
it is. I'm a narcissist. So what? So what?
Well, there's not much to say.
What
to
if
that.
everyone acted the way you just articulated? What would that world look
I
like?
have no idea. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know.
So you probably agree that's a terrible world to live
Yes, it would be. But thank God not everybody's like me. Yes. Thank God.
So what's your argument then, dude?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
We have clarity. Thank you.
Yes, we do. You have anything else you want to talk about? There's a lot
No.
more.
I think I understand your worldview pretty well. All about me, no one be like me. You're one.
So what are you trying to get at, though? Is what I'm-
It's obvious, and I've been doing this the whole time. There is a transcendent, eternal, external morality.
So you're okay. So
that
you
exists.
Say, okay, so you say there is an objective good and an
Of
objective
course
bad.
there is, yes. And the denial of that is only something we entertain because of how insane modern culture has become.
How has it gone insane?
We say men give birth.
I don't say that.
The Biden administration does.
That's not me.
They say that chest feeding, I know, because it's all about you. I got that, okay?
Yeah.
So we've been through that. Only about you, right?
Gotcha.
Center of the
Yeah,
universe.
100%, 100%.
It's Copernicus over
Yep.
here, right?
That's me.
So yes, we are now in a postmodern age where it says in the scriptures, man will do what is ever right in his own eyes.
So the scripture is right.
Of course it is. Yes.
Says
but,
who?
Okay, says God, but I can get
wait,
through
wait,
that.
Wait. What is a God?
Jehovah, Adonai, the oneness,
Okay,
ethical
okay.
monotheism that built the world you live in.
So an omnipotent being.
Omnipotent, not omnipotent,
whatever.
but that's okay. So,
Same thing, different way.
omnipotent, omniscient. I mean, I could get theological if you want, but even lesser than that, C.S. Lewis developed it called the Tao. Okay, so even this is more agreeable. I'm a Christian, but almost any functioning culture has something called the way.
Gotcha.
Meaning that
Yes,
there is
that's
a
true.
better way of living than other ways.
Yeah.
And if you compare Confucianism, you compare Roman,
Yeah.
Greek,
There's always a way of life.
and it's very similar, and they have some harmonies, and we must develop in the West what is the way. We have said to our kids, there is no way. Do whatever you want. Hate to say it, you articulated it beautifully. But
I mean, the way of life changed throughout time. I mean, to say there was one guaranteed best way to live, I mean, I feel like that's two-dimensional.
is it?
I'd say so. I mean, life is bigger than the two dimensions, black and white, good and bad.
I'm not saying it's good. There's hierarchies or nuances, but wouldn't it be worth spending some time wondering what is the best way to live?
I think about that all the time too, and I've come to the conclusion that it's just up to you. Honestly, I mean, live your life how you want to.
That's not the point. The agency is not that, is the ought to. So the Greeks had a word for this called telos, where you get the word telescope from, far out in the distance, something that you should yearn towards or desire, the best way for humans to live. Now,
Sure.
I believe that's a Christian way. Some people might not agree with that.
Yeah.
But you cannot say that we should as a society acknowledge a way is necessary. The founders acknowledged it, where they said the laws of nature and nature is God. We hold these truths to be self-evident. So our whole civilization is built on an idea that there is a way, and we're now teaching our kids, no there isn't, do whatever you want. I'm saying that's really, really dangerous.
I have a question. Can this way change and evolve as time goes on?
It can adapt, but not necessarily for the better. And that's why Christianity is just as applicable today as it was 2,000 years ago. And the founders did not write the Constitution for the times. It was written to stand the test of time. Because as much as we try to convince ourselves, human beings don't really change. We're still self-interested, we still lie, we still cheat. That's why the Constitution has lasted. It's the longest lasting political document in history.
So what are you trying to say?
I'm saying that absent an eternal standard, something transcendent.
There is a objective good that we should all strive for.
Yes, and we have to talk about what that is.
Sure. What is it? Let me know.
That's the question.
Okay.
I believe in the ultimate, it's Christ.
Okay.
But in the American context, it's ethical monotheism. That there is an ethical one God that administers a way for your life and you build a civilization on it.
Okay, the thing is, talking about Christianity, I mean, you know Nietzsche. God is dead.
You mean Nietzsche?
Nietzsche, whatever. God is dead. I mean, Christianity is a dying religion every single year. The numbers go down. And a while it's going to be gone.
Okay, so I'm going to try to save you here, man. Nietzsche lamented the death of Christianity, just so you know.
I've read Nietzsche, however you want to say it.
It's Nietzsche.
Whatever, big difference. I mean,
okay.
Either which
Did you read Beyond Good and Evil or Thus Spoke Zarathustra?
I've seen Uber's mention all that shit.
I love that video. Yeah, which one? Thus Spoke Zarathustra? Or Beyond Good and Evil? Beyond Good and Evil is a book. Well, maybe that'll be a video game too.
Okay,
but here's what Nietzsche said though.
Can I say my point real quick?
Okay.
So according to Nietzsche, God, whatever, it doesn't matter. You get the idea. God is dead according to him. Every single year, Christianity numbers fall, religion's dying.
That doesn't mean it's not true.
Okay, I know, but one day, Christianity is going to be gone.
No.
Yes, it will be.
It'll be a remnant.
No, it will be a remnant. It will be a small little religion,
but
it
this
will
is
never
also
have the control it has in the government.
Maybe
today. Every single day, as
Christianity has ebbed and flowed before. It's gone from martyrdom into exile into revival. Christianity looked like a dying religion in year 400 and year 1100.
That's true.
So, but you might be right because in our scriptures it does say that we'll be persecuted and that our numbers will decrease and false prophets. So you might even be right. I'm not even going to deny.
What I'm trying to say is, why build a whole culture around something that is going to perhaps die one day?
Well, first of all, we already built it.
And it's falling. Christianity
is it
falling.
yeah, is it falling because we're going towards Christianity or away
That's just the
Christianity?
natural way of things. I mean, the Greek religion fell, you know, Rome fell. I mean, things come and go every day.
Wait, hold on. Do people still worship the Greek gods?
No, they do
yeah,
not.
okay. Well, Christianity has staying power. By the way, before you get too ahead of yourself, the gospel's spreading in Africa like never before. So Christianity's
I mean,
actually...
they said that years ago. They say that
hold on.
every
It's
other year.
increasing worldwide. It's decreasing in America. But hold on to your point. What am I getting at? We could debate taxes and borders. None of this matters if we don't first acknowledge some form of something outside of ourselves needs to exist to have a good and free society. You don't have that. You're going to live in a really crummy, totalitarian country.
You rely on a God to tell you what is good and bad.
Yeah, the God of the heavens and the earth. Okay. Yes, but even if you don't,
I rely on the community around me to tell me what is good and bad.
Yeah, I mean, but hold on. First it was you, now it's the community. You're all over the place.
Well, you are a part of the community. You are, you know, you are the community.
Well, that's
you are an individual member.
Again, that's if you rely on the community, then in Nazi Germany you'd be running trains to the concentration camps, right?
Well, that's what people were doing.
And that was wrong.
It was.
Okay. The question is, what's going to prevent us from doing that again?
You could do the same thing with God.
Of course you can pervert what is true. It does not make what is true wrong. What is true is eternal. Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not covet. Thou shalt not have any gods above me.
You say all this, but I mean, the American government will go bomb a, you know,
Fair
whatever.
enough. That means they're not living up to the standard. It doesn't make the standard not true.
I just think the standard is something impossible to reach.
Is it impossible, or is it necessary to set for us to strive as close as possible to?
I mean, honestly, yeah, it's a good idea.
Thank you.
I'd agree with that. I'd agree. It's a good to set a good.
It's a good telos, a good
I
thing
guess
to
so,
strive
but
for.
Listen, but wait. But not everything Christianity says is perfect. That's the thing.
Well, look, I'm happy to defend Christianity, but what I will say, I'm saying even if you just acknowledge, anybody, that there is a better way to live, that is a win. That there is a way that humans ought to live and ways that we should probably avoid. That is at least a refutation of postmodernism, which is what is dominating the land today.
I guess, yeah.
Okay. That's where you start.
I mean, I just think it's just this whole good versus evil is just so arbitrary.
That's very Nietzschean, but it's not.
I respect that.
I'm going to say something radical, okay? A child put in an oven is not subjective. That is morally reprehensible no matter what culture, no matter where you come from. I don't care about your history. I don't care about your shared experience. That's evil.
I agree with you, but you
know why? Because all of a sudden something other than your reason is kicking in, which is your soul. Yes, it is. Because we know at a soul level, it's wrong to put kids in ovens, okay?
But not everyone around the world would agree with that, unfortunately.
These are dangerous.
Well, they're evil. Thank you. That's an evil thing.
Okay, then we're back at good versus evil. What is that? Black versus white.
Okay, so we could, again, I would say the good is that which is perfected in being.
Okay.
All right?
That's your personal definition.
Well, no, it's Aristotle's, but that's okay. So, pretty important to creating the West, right? But if we build up from that, we understand the greatest thinkers of the West, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, they started with what is good? And they spent their whole life asking that question. How often do college kids ask that question?
Rarely.
That's a problem.
Most people rarely think that, though.
That's what I'm getting at, is that if you do not honor that there's something above you, something beautiful, something transcendent, even the possibility, the idea of it, I call it religious. You could call it,
community, that's what I would call it.
But so philosophos, philosophy, the love of wisdom, wisdom is the knowledge of things that don't change. We rarely teach kids things that don't change. We teach them things that do change. Knowledge is important. Wisdom is eternal. Wisdom is, what's the best way to live? Are human beings good or bad? What is justice? What should the punishment be for a stolen Snicker bar versus murder? These are the most important questions, right? And we don't contemplate them nearly enough at universities.
The thing is with that is just like the way the world is today, where things are so changing so fast. It's just hard to root something.
Hold on. Let's go. Are they changing fast, or are they staying the same faster?
We'll go more into that.
Are we better people because we can fly from Phoenix to New York and have Wi-Fi and Twitter, or are we more of the same, just in an accelerated way?
I'd say it amplifies who we really are.
Bingo. So we don't change, it just speeds it up. So shouldn't we discover who we are, the nature of man, which is what Aristotle did in his Ethics. He did it better than almost anybody else, that there's an ascendance of virtues, right? The ultimate being courage. The goal of humanity being happiness. He had a word called eudaimonia.
Yeah, feelings don't change. We all feel the same.
Sort of. You're getting close. Yeah, but this is what I'm getting at.
How you feel that changes.
No, that's how you feel.
You can feel happiness,
yes,
you know, looking at the sun, watching the sunset. But nowadays, the way we can feel that has changed.
Sure.
The way we feel, the way we
changes slightly, yeah. But
we are still fundamentally the same.
Yes, and then we want to learn what that fundamentally the same thing is. Thank you, man. I want to get to other people. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. You were you started rough, and then we got somewhere. Thank you.
Well, hello there. TwitchCon just happened, and with it came Twitch's biggest announcement ever, pretty sure. This is going to change the entire landscape of live streaming, of all platforms, and if you are a content creator or interested in content creation, you absolutely want to watch the rest of this video. We're going to break it into 4 sections, because there has been a huge announcement, and that is that Twitch is finally doing away with simulcasting. That is to say, they're allowing it. They're basically allowing you to multi-stream to multiple different platforms, any platform you want, in addition to Twitch at the same time. So people that have followed the Devin Nash channel before, they know that this is my biggest criticism of Twitch for years, is that they have been unable to do this. We're going to talk about why later, but they've basically been unable to do this. Previously, if you were getting paid by Twitch in any way as like an affiliate or a partner, basically someone that is associated with the website in any kind of contractual way, you were locked into only streaming on their platform, and now that is completely gone. They were kind of like halfway about it. No one really understood it, and so they've updated their guidelines, and they have now allowed it. So we're gonna break this video down into 4 sections: multi-streaming, what it means, new streamer best practices, or just streamer best practices, kind of like new comma streamer, not new streamer. Why do they do it? And then the conclusions and what's next. 4 parts, starting with number 1. We're not gonna read all this crap. I'm just gonna kind of explain what it is. Basically, I've explained it a little bit before, but it just means that before you could only stream to Twitch pretty much if you had any kind of contract or affiliate, which is super easy to get. And I would recommend universally that nobody takes affiliate. Didn't make any sense because multi-streaming was always more beneficial. We'll talk about why that is. And I think you'll kind of understand, this will help you understand why multi-streaming is that way. Okay? So simulcasting guidelines, again, basically they're saying, yeah, it's totally fine, but hey, you can't like do anything that lowers the quality of the Twitch user experience. You can't like provide links, or you can't. A big one is like you can't combine chats. And I'm just going to tell you right now, just ignore all this, okay? And just do it anyway. It's absolutely unenforceable. There's no way that they're ever going to come up and any of this is going to happen. That's not my official agency recommendation, by the way, but I'm just, it's like, I can't think of a single person that was banned for multi-streaming, even when the guidelines were there. So I don't think anybody should read this and be like, oh, well, I have to like take all these measures to do this. You're going to see through this video that the benefits of multi-streaming are just so much more than like any of this BS. We're going to recommend some programs. It's going to be great, okay? But yeah, it's unenforceable. The rules don't really matter. Rules don't really matter. Multi-streaming is effectively allowed, okay? And you can basically multi-stream anywhere. We can talk about the best platforms and everything. Again, like they're saying, well, you can't combine the chats or whatever, but you could just read out the question. So they're saying, well, if you don't want the chats on your screen, you want to abide by the Twitch rules. Okay, great. Then just say something like, oh, hey, John from YouTube says, or like, oh, our guy from our Kick Chat says, like, right? Like you just say that and just respond and solve that problem. And then also you're simultaneously like shouting out your other platforms, so it's good. Cool. So multi-streaming. Well, why is this like important? Who cares? Okay. Well, multi-streaming is always better than just streaming on Twitch. And there's a couple of really important reasons for this. The first reason and the most important reason is that Twitch basically has no discovery. Okay. No one can really find your streams, but YouTube and TikTok do have these features. So on Twitch, you got this big system of just a bunch of broadcasters, and when you go to a category, it's either sorted by viewers or it's sorted by recommendation algorithm that generally recommends higher viewership. So if you have low viewership, being like between, you know, below 1,000. It's really, really hard to get discovered on Twitch / kind of impossible. But on YouTube, they have a totally different kind of search. They have algorithmic discovery via their live streams, meaning that people that YouTube just recommends it based on what they think that user actually wants to watch. And so you're way more likely to get in new viewers onto your YouTube live streams than you are ever to get them on Twitch. Therefore, streaming on YouTube at the same time just categorically gets you more growth. But it's even better than that, because if you can get on TikTok, TikTok actually has an advanced recommendation feature, and it constantly dumps new people into your pipeline. We'll talk about this a little bit more later, but TikTok can literally bring your broadcast from 1 viewer to like 700 overnight, especially if you're doing something interesting or viral. So multi-streaming is just better, straight up. It's just a better thing to do. There are some people who say, I'll just like very quickly address this because I know it's going to come up, and it comes up in every time I talk about this subject. There are some people, even really prominent content creators, that will say don't multi-stream because it dilutes your audience. It doesn't like, these people just don't know what they're talking about. Okay, I run an agency. We've analyzed thousands of live streams. We continue to analyze them daily. Multi-streaming is categorically better for growth. There is no debate to this. Don't listen to dumb content creators who don't know what they're talking about that say multi-streaming is not right. They haven't done it themselves. They don't know what they're talking about. Multi-streaming is 100% better for anybody who is trying to really build a brand, especially if you're a small broadcaster. Okay, and now you'll find throughout this video, it's universally better for everybody. We're gonna go through the FAQ real quick, which basically, there's been some questions, so I also want to make this a video for content creators that are coming here that are like, well, like, I want to learn about it. Do these guidelines apply to all streamers? Basically, yes. So this does apply to affiliates and partners, but they are saying here, unless you have an agreement with Twitch that requires exclusivity, who is that? You're basically going to know if you're that person. Right now, that kind of applies to like the top 500 broadcasters who have some kind of top, like, bespoke deal with Twitch that specifically denotes that they are exclusive, usually because they're being paid for something or there's some kind of deal going on. You'll likely know if you're watching this video and you are that person. If your question is, am I exclusive to Twitch as like a regular partner or affiliate? As far as I know, no. Okay. And then there's a couple of other questions like, can I use third-party tools? And we'll go through some of the good third-party tools. Do I need to designate my stream as simulcasting? Interestingly enough, they said that they're actually going to have a feature that designates this as multi-streaming, so they're really planning to like put this in. Pretty great. Also, another huge W that happened that's not worth making a video about, but they also simultaneously disabled embeds for people like FXtraLife and people that were basically abusing the system and getting tons of views. So that basically improves the health of the website overall. Another really big W. Awesome. Love it. So that's the fact. So basically, multi-streaming just universally across the board is going to improve your discovery. Let's get into like new streamer best practices for our part 2. Like, what do you do about this? Well, you now take affiliate and partner when offered no matter what, which is a huge difference, right? You might go back to my video that I made, why you should never become a Twitch affiliate, and it basically boiled down to exclusivity and the huge percentages they were taking. You got to do the math, right? There's going to be a couple of things we need to talk about here. I guess actually I should talk about this now. And you need to kind of understand this is a pretty important marketing concept for anybody. And that is a marketing funnel, okay? So all streamers should consider their funnel and drive users away from their platforms that are getting discovered at and to a central, safer platform like Discord or Patreon. So what's a funnel? We're going to explain that real quick. Super, super important. Marketing class won't teach you these things. Maybe they will. I don't actually know. Never took a marketing class. Did I take a marketing class? Maybe. You draw an ice cream cone. I should teach a marketing class. I am teaching a marketing class. What this YouTube video is. Huh. Okay. So, looking at this funnel and drawing these cute little arrows, at the top of the funnel, let's imagine this is where your customers go, okay? So, the top of your funnel here, this is the first like place where your customers reach you. This is how they discover you, right? So, your customer has to hear about you. Your advertising has to be heard about somehow. Otherwise, your customer never hears about you and they never buy your thing. So if you want a person to subscribe to you, if you want a person to follow you, they first have to hear about you. So how do they hear about you? Well, generally at the top of the funnel, you want to place platforms that are highly discoverable, that have algorithms that will help you people come to your broadcast, come to your YouTube channel, whatever. So again, I've always kind of criticized people that have Twitch as a primary focus because there is no top of funnel for Twitch, right? There's a lot of really good options to monetize once the person is in the funnel. Like down here, they can subscribe and they can pay you, and down here they can like eventually donate to you or whatever, and you can make a lot of money that way. But top of funnel, not that good, right? So you want to use top of funnel stuff like YouTube, like TikTok, right? Even to some extent like Kick. These kind of new platforms you can multi-stream on to drive people down the funnel to better paid options. Now here is the Skippy on this. Is that what the kids say? They say Skippy. Here's the Skippy on this. Okay. Twitch takes like 5 billion% of your money. They take 50% of your money, really, like from subscribers and from and if you make a lot of money, they can take up to down to 30%, take 70%. But that still is peanuts compared to like a Patreon, where Patreon only takes like 8%. So I would argue that you have to kind of change your whole mentality. And if you're a content creator and you're thinking about multi-streaming, it's probably the most important part of the video for you. You have to think about your whole mentality of how you did this before. Previously, I think a lot of broadcasters, they think, okay, I'm going to build a community on this platform, and I'm going to get all my users living on this platform, and then they're going to pay me, and I'm going to make big bucks streaming video games. It's going to be great. And the problem with that is that you are completely beholden to that platform. So if you do something that they dislike, or like more likely, they just change something in a way that doesn't benefit you because they're always going for like the whole and like the macro idea, right? Very possible they do something that just doesn't help you, and you're screwed because your entire audience is on that platform. So you want to drive people through the top of your funnel now, and it doesn't really matter so much anymore where they're watching your stream. What matters is where they end up as your customer. Your customer in this case might be your subscriber, and it might be like your follower, might be whatever. Okay, so we now take affiliate and partner no matter what, because previously, now that you understand the funnel, the problem with funneling before was that if you took affiliate and partner, you basically eliminated this whole part of your funnel. And you only had people that you were lucky enough to come in from Twitch, usually people you were getting from other places like posting on YouTube. So you never wanted to take affiliate or partner, but now that you can multi-stream, it doesn't matter, right? You just take every benefit you possibly can. So if they offer you partner, hey, take it right away. If they offer you affiliate, you take it right away. No problem. I can still multi-stream, no issue whatsoever. Great, good stuff. Where should you drive the bottom of your funnel, your audience? Well, I think the best place right now, and I have no paid interest in saying this. I run an agency. I don't sell to anybody besides a very high-level brand, people that want to do advertising. So you are not my customer here, but I think that Patreon is great. You keep 92% of the income versus 50% on Twitch. That is a huge number if you just do the math. It means like if you've ever looked at the Kick people that are offering 95% of a sub split, like the difference in what people are getting paid, just the percentages, like just look at like taxes, right? This is why people move out of states like California. I moved out of California because I had to pay 12% on state tax. Like percentages matter a lot. And if somebody is taking 5 of every 10 of your dollars versus 2 of every 10 of your dollars, that's going to add up really quick. So I like Patreon a lot because it's a good place to hold a paid community. It allows you to diversify a lot better because there's a lot of ways to provide rewards through things like Discord or extra places and like just extra things, extra one-on-ones, all kinds of community stuff you can do. There's a couple of videos I made, including one that's exactly how to make $5,000 a month off of Patreon. And that's because I made $5,000 a month off of Patreon. Also built 2 Patreons that got there within a month. And so watch that video. It's somewhere. Just search that, Devin Nash, and that'll teach you how to do Patreon Vault. But yeah, you can get your users on these platforms like TikTok and like YouTube and maybe even to some extent Twitch and drive them down to a Patreon or a Discord where they can then be a better, bigger part of your community, kind of like a more prominent part of your community. Cool. So you now take affiliate and partner offer no matter what. And to do, a lot of people are going to ask, we'll just go through like some of the other platforms. I also really like Discord. By the way, I also think that Discord and Patreon just aren't going anywhere. Discord is like going nowhere but up. It's a really popular platform. It seems like kind of like the Skype model that finally kind of figured it out. Patreon also been around for years, just has a very solid P&L, like really just good, solid company. Just like, I gotta go to where probably. So these are great places to kind of host your communities. Whereas like, you know, you look at a place like, let's go over the streaming platforms right now. Twitch, right? Twitch is like on the up and up and probably the best streaming culture still. I just feel like it's kind of the best place to kind of just feel to be like a live streamer, you know? But between like the chat and the emotes and the culture, and just kind of the meta of everyone kind of just being there and talking, it's a really good place to be. And I think Twitch is still going to be like that. YouTube, though, is absolutely the best place for growth and discovery. I think I would need a whole nother video to explain this, but YouTube just has a different method of discovery. A lot of people are like, oh, well, YouTube has like no central directory where I can go and I can view streams like I can on Twitch. Well, yeah, that's intentional because they want you to search for something like, oh, I want to watch like Baldur's Gate 3 gameplay, or I want to like learn more about Baldur's Gate. Well, that's going to point you in your search results to a live stream about that, and then you may follow that person as a result of that. But you're gonna that's how that discovery works, right? You're not going to like go to the Baldur's Gate 3 category and then click on something. Actually, YouTube does have a directory like that, but it's like buried and nobody uses it. The search is what you go to YouTube for, and that's why you get such a higher percentage of new users coming into a live stream than you do on something like Twitch. Kick, which is the competitor to Twitch that currently owns about 7 to 9% of its live viewership, mostly through large contracts and acquisitions. If you're building this as a main platform, I think there's a bit of a PR issue. That is to say that there are some unscrupulable, is that how you say that? Unscrupulable? Oh, I really love that word. I wish I knew how to pronounce it. Somebody in the comments can tell me how. Unscrupulous? Unscrupulous? We're spending way too much time on this. Individuals, some questionable individuals there, who, when you associate your brand as a small broadcaster with, you may run into some issues down the line when you're trying to get sponsors, or we have had issues. So people that don't have context, I run an advertising agency. We spend millions of dollars a year in advertising budget on the best kind of platforms. We're very careful about where we spend money because we care about our brands. So we have had a lot of resistance from brands, understandably, on spending on Kick, just because of these sort of top-level streamers that are there and what they choose to post as their content. So you may run into that problem as just by context and association, by building full-time there. Now, multi-streaming, not going to matter. Some people have asked me that. They're like, hey, what if you're on Twitch, but I'm multi-streaming to Kick? Like, is there any implication to, like, negative brand stuff? No. Like, if you're multi-streaming, no one's going to care, you know? And generally speaking, like, most people probably won't care about this stuff. Long-term health of the platform is kind of super questionable. So I would just multi-stream there and then not worry about it, but not make it a main platform right now. I don't understand the future of it. It looks like pretty good, but I just get nervous with people spending millions and millions of dollars with like no clear ROI. And again, we can make a whole video about any of these topics, but yeah. TikTok, if you can get in, it's great. I say if you can get in because usually you need, I think, 1,000 followers to apply for the live streaming portion of the program. And then the problem with it is like it can take months to do it. There is a quick hack for people. You can join a TikTok agency. These are agencies that are required to support, I think, at least 300 creators. So they're always trying to grab up creators. They will take a percentage of your money for doing absolutely nothing, but they will get you into the TikTok live program, like creator program, which allows vertical video and some other stuff for horizontal video or whatever. So if you can get in, it's great. And there are opportunities for instant viral moments. I've seen so many creators on TikTok go from literally no followers to like streams of like 500, 800, 900, 1,000 concurrent viewers or more. And yes, it works for gamers too. There's like a gaming audience on TikTok quite a bit. And then all the other platforms like Facebook, you know, DLive, whatever it is, might as well be dead. If you really want to diversify and like multi-stream to them, you might as well. But I just don't think it's probably worth your time. Cool. Okay, so tools, like what do we use? Well, there's two tools that I like. Restream.io is one. That's like a paid professional tool that a lot of people have had luck with. It's fairly straightforward in how it is utilized. You can read about it, and it is paid. There's also Commander Root's tool. Just go to Twitter and search for Commander Root, and he runs I think he has like I don't know if it's paid or whatever, but he's the same guy that does a lot of like Twitch analytics or stuff. Here's his X right here. And so he has I believe he has a restreaming service thing, and he builds a lot of tools. Really, really great member of the Twitch community. So Commander Root is the second one. We'll put him in the notes. That's how you actually restream. So you can just literally go to restream.io, sign up for an account, and you will literally be like multi-streaming. It's not like some big tech thing to set up. It's like not that hard. Also, for combining chats, there's a awesome tool called Chatterino. which is completely free. And I actually use that in live streaming and recommend people use it as well. Cool. So that's how you actually do it and some of the best practices. So we're going to go into like why Twitch did this. And then we're going to talk about some of the really important stuff about just like what is going on with the platform now. And some of the insider stuff that I don't think a lot of people are seeing. Before we do that, let's do... No, I think we'll do it later. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do why Twitch did this. Then we'll do the big conclusions and stuff like that. Why did Twitch do this? Well, I don't think it's for the reasons that I've seen, but we'll get this obvious one out of the way. So Twitch is getting a huge amount of pressure from Kick, actually. So Kick is a website that was started by a few people who, as far as I can tell, basically just weren't really happy with like what Twitch was doing at the top of the ecosystem. And we're like, you know what? We can like do live streaming better. And we're going to offer a 95% sub split. We're going to make donations free. So like the little currency you use to donate on the website, minus like a payment processing thing, is basically free to use. No percentage that goes to the site. And they also pay a salary, basically. So if you want to understand like anything about Kick streaming and like who they pay, you have to understand that every one of their contracts is hourly. Like even including like the SQC deal and all that stuff, the really big ones. They pay you, and it might be a very high hourly rate, but their idea is we'll pay you hourly to be on Kick. So they're even like implementing these kind of creator programs where people can make a salary for streaming, which is great. So Kick has actually put a lot of pressure on Kick. I think they have super succeeded at what they were trying to do. Now, I think I'm going to tell you what I think their financial model is real quick. Essentially, if you pay someone a salary, right, but you know on the back end how much you make per customer, you just have a simple math problem, right? And I'm not saying this is 100% true, but this is just my professional opinion. I think what they're doing is they're betting that a lot of the people that go to Kick will convert to Stake, which is their gambling website, where the LTV, or lifetime value of a customer, is probably north of like $200. And what they're betting is like, well, we know that if we pay streamers to get new viewers on, we know like the average value of a user. Because like something like, I think there was some leaks, it was like 2 to 5% of the people that end up on Kick will eventually go to Stake, which is an amazing number if that's true. And then, you know, your LTV is like $200 per customer or even more, because those people are going to spend a ton of money on gambling. Then like Kick has essentially solved the business model by saying, hey, we're not going to play Twitch's game, where we're going to like go out and we're going to try to like make this make sense by like taking percentages from streamers and creators. We're just going to ignore that, and then we're just going to monetize on the back end through gambling. And like there's some ethical concerns with that with some people, fine, including me. But it is what it is, right? Like that's just kind of how it's working. Regardless, it's really put Twitch on the back foot. And now Twitch has to bet that they will win the fight on the community experience. The experience of being on Twitch has to be better than it is anywhere else, which is kind of problematic sometimes, right? Like the YouTube player, right, is way better than the Twitch player. And some people just like watching and rewinding VODs, and there's just better features and less bandwidth problems. And generally speaking, the content delivery network on YouTube is just far superior. It's just heavier servers, it's better. So Twitch needs to bet, okay, we're going to have the best community experience. And now, here comes the real big reason. You understand this, that the Kick has kind of put Twitch on the back burner a little bit. There's some competition there. Previously, if you remember my funnel talk, right? When Twitch would lock people into affiliate, that's effectively a new streamer. So affiliate was like you had like 5 viewers concurrently or more, and like some number of followers was like really small. You could sign up for affiliate. Then you became an affiliate. And there was like all these people that were like, oh, there's even this like path to affiliate, path to partner thing that people would follow. So new streamers, when they were making an evaluation of what platform to stream on, had no problem signing exclusivity to Twitch, right? Because they were like, well, this is just the place to do this. But after Kick came along, Twitch's biggest fear, you gotta understand, is that like the latest, biggest upcoming streamer, right, is Kai Cenat. And Kai Cenat, massive broadcaster, went from basically being unheard of a year ago to like 60,000, 70,000 like people watching a stream at any given time. And rightfully so, right? Amazing entertainer. I talked about him before, I have a video about him. So where did Kai grow up? Kai grew up on Twitch. Kai came up on Twitch. So the biggest fear that Twitch has is that Kick starts growing these streamers, and the next biggest person grows up on Kick, because that points to every new creator, and every new creator and says, oh man, like, well, that's where I need to be, right? So Twitch previously had the luxury of locking people into affiliate because they knew that they were the place to be. But now that Kick is around and saying, hey, that sub split, you can go over here, you can start your career here and earn 95% of all the money you take. You know, Twitch, they only give you 50%. So you're going to make way more money here, and we're also going to pay you a salary to be here. Twitch had no choice but to drop exclusivity at that point, because if they were continuously locking new streamers into affiliate, it would then become an evaluation between, well, do I want to only stream on Twitch, or do I want to make all this money over here, and hey, I can also stream on YouTube and do whatever I want, right? I know, by the way, I can be like more not safe for work over here, or I could, like, you know, watch Lord of the Rings for 8 hours like people do on Kick or whatever. Whatever you do over there. So, great, right? So it became basically inevitable that Twitch had to do this. And it goes back to my friend Trainwrecks, who was like, you know, I just think at the end of the day, Twitch needs competition. He was right. Like, Twitch just needed some competition. And now they've got some, like, legit competition, like, getting huge deals sniped out from under them. Big streamers like XQC and Nadeshot going over to the platform for the big bucks. Twitch is like, damn. Like, also, we can't financially compete with these deals because we can't justify, like, we can't white paper Amazon for this money, right? We're not going to, like, why should I pay $70 million for this freaking... Imagine walking into Andy Jass's office or whoever you got to approve for a $70 million expense at Amazon and being like, yeah, so this weird goblin kid, like, with this hair that screams at his TV and thusly his audience is worth $70 million. I need to justify an expense. You're not going to do it. It's not going to happen, man. Twitch can't compete one-to-one with what Kick is offering these people. So they're like, all right, screw it. We're just gonna drop exclusivity entirely. Just do what you want. We're gonna build the best community. We're trying to build the best product. We're trying to win on that. Which, by the way, should have been doing the whole time. Thanks. Right? Took a little bit of competition to knock them out of it, but that's what they should have been doing the whole time. You gotta add to that, like, need links to support this. I guess I don't need links to support it. Twitch has had huge PR hits over the last year. You can link it yourself. I'm too lazy. Just Google it. They've had a bunch of PR hits, and that also means they needed a couple of W's here. And at the end of the day, it forces Twitch to be competitive, which is universally a good thing for the industry. We're already seeing this reflect in some of the product developments. They're making favored clips, which as of yet haven't been, like, very successful in discovery, but at least they're trying. And there's also new discovery options. Like, right now, as of the time of this recording, they have a discovery, like, feed that's come out that is available to, like, 20% of the total Twitch audience. It's pretty good. It's like it's a pretty good start, and that's what we're going to talk about now in the conclusion part of just kind of like, where is this going? What are the most important, like, kind of takeaways from this? And before that, this is the secret call out. That's right. Of course there's a secret call out. Are you kidding me? It's 2626. What a good time. That means if you are still watching a Devin Nash video 2626, you're the OGs. You're the gangsters, okay? Post that in the comments, 2626. Comments, thank you guys very much. Two things to talk about here. Number one is, I'm going to tell you about Novo. This is the agency I work with. I get a lot of questions with. So what we actually do here is we work with brands, and we help advertise products and services on new media platforms for them. So we might do influencer marketing, we might do advertising, all kinds of good stuff. I make these videos for free. 99.9% of you are never going to be my customer. But if you are a VP of marketing or you own a business and you're looking to do effective advertising and you have a budget of over $100,000 a quarter, you want to reach out to our agency. That's hello@novo.tv. That's what we do. You can also support me personally on Patreon or support yourself, because $5 gets you access to 100. That is not a lie. 100 30-minute videos I've made about business, marketing, lifestyle. All the stuff I can't post on this YouTube, I post on my Patreon. My Patreon has all kinds of, like, business education, marketing education, the stuff that I come into contact with running a multi-million-dollar agency, and all the business lessons I've ever learned. Literally 130-minute videos just for $5 gets you access to all of them. There are some other tiers, like we have the mastermind where you can come in, like, every week and talk to me and tell me about your business and stuff. That one's really good. We've got like 35 of those episodes. Those are all 2.5 hours long. They're done every Saturday. So just take a look at it. Patreon.com/DevinNash. And take a look at Novo if you're one of those sorts that is really kind of confused about the advertising world and just wants some help with it. We'd love to be a partner for you. Okay, so, like, what's the big conclusions, like the overall conclusions? And thank you, everybody, also for, like, supporting these videos. People are like, why don't you upload more? You know, transparently, I kind of like an existential crisis a little bit that my stuff isn't very valuable. So I just like, that's really why I get into these funks. You don't see me upload for like 2 months. Sometimes because Path of Exile is like a great game, and the League comes out, and I'm like, oh god, okay. And I gobble it down into my cave like the hatch, like the witch that closes the hatch. Sometimes that's the reason, but lately it's been because like I just like kind of am not sure that my content's good. There's a lot of good stuff on YouTube, you know. I don't know if Devin Nash is the best person to watch overall. But thank you. Like when people post comments and stuff like that, and they do the 26 thing, and they're like, "No, it's like actually good." I'm like, yeah, maybe I should keep creating videos. Anyway, so where are we going? What are we doing? You know, I feel like Twitch is moving forward. Like it's so weird to say that. I feel like it's good. You know, competition was good for them, and there's a new CEO. We've seen him everywhere. If you're kind of like a member of the Twitch community, you've probably seen Dan Clancy. And originally, I said this of Dan Clancy. I said, he seems like a really nice guy. He seems really well like connected to the community. I think he's going to do well. But I don't think he's going to be the person that like really, really pushes Twitch forward into like a massive tech company. And I think that assessment is pretty correct. The previous CEO, Emmett Shear, was horrible. Like legitimately. Now, he did what Twitch needed at the time. He pushed Twitch, the CDN, the tech of it. Emmett at his core was an engineer, and he pushed Twitch forward into a business that did live streaming better than anybody else did, and that was a huge part of the product. So I don't want to like dog him for that. Horrible community CEO. I mean, just completely incapable of engaging with the community. But Dan, you see him at streamer weddings. You see him playing the piano. He live streams himself from a van. He's a super accessible, super cool guy. He was all over TwitchCon. Really fantastic dude. That I just think he is really a great feeling for Twitch, and kind of all broadcasters right now have a feeling that Twitch is just like kind of revitalized. This TwitchCon felt really good to a lot of broadcasters. There were notably some broadcasters like my buddy Co Carnage, who was saying like, man, this like felt invigorating. Like it felt like a good TwitchCon. Like it felt good for the first time in a long time. People like S-Fan saying like, oh man, this is like really good. Like I really got this feeling. A lot of people praising Dan. I like appropriately for just how he's doing. So I think Twitch is moving forward, and competition was good for them.
It's not ready.
Okay. I also think that Twitch seems to have realized in this day and age that it's not going to be this huge tech platform. This kind of drove me crazy about Twitch in the like 4 or 5 years ago, where you had Emmett up on stage that was like, basically, he was literally trying to be like the Steve Jobs Apple CEO, like announcing the new iPhone, and he's like literally just like talking about weird little community features that nobody cares about, like mod options and stuff like that. Like Twitch is just not that platform. It's not going to be YouTube, and it doesn't have to, right? It can kind of be like a special niche place for live streaming where people on average are just more dedicated, because like the average user on Twitch watches a stream for 120 minutes a day versus YouTube people that watch like a video for like 15 minutes, right? Like the typical Twitch user is just a more engaged person to that community. And that's fine, right? Like you don't need to appeal to 2 billion users. And I think Twitch has finally kind of realized like, oh, we could kind of like grow. Like we don't have to grow so wide. We got to grow up and make the experience better for the streamers we have. Make this the best place it needs to be for streaming. And this big multi-streaming thing, just like the sort of corporate messaging here is, hey, we are confident that we can build a better product than these other people, and thus we don't have to chain you up, right? It's like if you're in like a marriage or whatever, right? You're not gonna like chain your husband in the basement and not let him outside. Because you this might be a terrible analogy, but because you're like, yo, you can't leave anywhere else. You can't go to the store or whatever because I don't trust you, right? You're confident in yourself. You're confident in your relationships with your friends, with people around you. They're like, yo, like you be you, do whatever, and like we're gonna push this thing forward based on the quality of like who we are and what we are, and companies are at their best when they do that, right? So Twitch needed for years to be able to say, hey, yeah, you're like, there's roping people into the affiliate. It's just like you with your 4 viewers, you are now locked in forever to being on Twitch eternally. And if you ever look away, if you look at Twitch, it's like the meme of the guy that's like you know, like you ever even look at Kick, we will ban you. Like screw this. It's such an authoritarian, draconian bullshit. Like now they are actually dropping that, and they're taking this stance of like, hey, like we're gonna build the best product, and you could be wherever else, like sure, right? But you're gonna want to be here. This is gonna be the place you're gonna want to be. We're gonna be so good that you can't ignore us. Awesome. Love that mentality for business. It just shows that the organization from the top down is like starting to get it. Good, right? Huge W for all streamers. That's my only point here. That's what I just wrote. That's all I wrote. And as a result, again, everyone should accept partner and affiliate now. Period. End of story, right? There's just no reason not to. And lastly, you know, I just think this should start to change your mindset for all you content creators out there. Maybe some of you are already in this place, but for those of you that are not, everyone should be platform agnostic, right? Like instead of just thinking about the platform you're going to live on forever now, diversify to the ones that most serve you, right? Use your top of funnels, and then convert people to paid prices where your percentages favor you the most and have the most longevity. Be where you are benefiting and you want to be. Multi-streaming.
You've probably heard it said that during pull-ups and pulling exercises, a wide grip is better for the back, whereas a narrow grip is better for the biceps. This is wrong. It's caused by an improper understanding of biomechanics. In this video, I'm going to explain proper biomechanics of pulling exercises so that you can optimize your back and biceps training. You might feel your back more with a wider grip, and you might feel your arms more with a more narrow grip. But feelings and objective muscle activity don't correlate very well, as I explained in a previous video. I think the study that best illustrates the effect of grip width is one by Anderson et al. That you can see here. They looked at the effects of 3 different grip widths of pull downs. So it was a very controlled study, and they did 6 RMs at each respective grip. They measured the muscle activity of a lot of different muscle groups, as you can see here, and they found no significant differences. Not for the arms, not for the latissimus dorsi, not for the traps, and not for the infraspinatus. Multiple other studies have also compared different pull-down and pull-up variations, generally finding no significant differences. For example, they've compared neutral and supinated grip pull-ups, wide grip pull-ups, neutral or supinated grip pull-ups, and in general, these studies have found no significant differences in terms of either back or biceps activity. The Anderson study is by far the most well-controlled one though. Of course, muscle activity, as measured via electromyography, is just muscle activity, and it doesn't necessarily correspond with muscle growth. We also have a study by Gentile et al. That found that pronated grip pull-downs stimulate as much biceps growth as supinated grip barbell curls. So there are 2 comparisons here: grip width and forearm orientation. Forearm orientation I'm not going to discuss in detail in this video. I wrote an extensive article on that on my website that you can check out. Just like grip width, most research finds no significant effects of forearm orientation. Again, it might feel like you train the biceps more and you see it contract more when it's supinated, but it's still an elbow flexor. The body will recruit it, specifically the motor cortex of your brain. It will recruit the biceps, whether it's supinated or pronated, during any type of elbow flexion movement. In fact, an argument can be made in light of the recent research of stretch-mediated hypertrophy and findings that the biceps is better trained at long muscle lengths, that pronating the arm, like this is pronation, this is supination, they show that longer muscle lengths are more effective to stimulate biceps growth. And by pronating the arm, you lengthen the biceps. So an argument could actually be made that a hammer grip or even a pronated grip might be superior in some exercises for biceps growth. Now, as for the grip width, this study lends strong credence to the idea that grip width is not a major determinant of bicep growth. However, I will say that Paulo Gentile, the lead author of this study, a Brazilian researcher, has a very poor reputation in the scientific community, the exercise science community. He was associated, he was not implicated, but he was associated with Mateus Barbalho, who had multiple papers retracted essentially for data fraud, or at least very improbable data patterns, as we have to politically correctly call it. So take these findings with a little bit of grain of salt, but there is also other research, namely a study by Pomper Meyer et al., that found that supinated shoulder width pulldowns and biceps easy bar preacher curls stimulate a similar level of muscle damage in the biceps. So we have some convergence that the available research on muscle growth, the lead researcher may not be entirely trustworthy. It does converge with research on muscle damage and multiple studies on muscle activity. Perhaps more importantly even, it makes biomechanical sense. The idea that a wide grip is better for the back, whereas a more narrow grip is better for the arm, seems to be largely based on either a very specious, superficial idea of biomechanics or feelings. It is true that the range of motion is decreased when you use a very wide grip, but it only decreases range of motion in the contracted position, which recent research finds may not actually be a big deal. I'm not sure where the idea originally came from, that a wide grip is better for the back and a narrow grip is better for the arms. I think it is largely based on feelings, the fact that we see and feel the biceps more, especially with a narrow supinated grip versus a wider pronated grip. But with a proper understanding of biomechanics, it actually makes sense that grip width doesn't have a significant effect on biceps recruitment. And I think what most people, when they feel the arms more, they think the back must be working less, but that's not true. As I discussed in previous videos, compound and isolation exercises on average in the literature have equal effects on muscle growth. So it's not the case that just because you're training another muscle group as well, that you're training the primary muscle group less. There is no mutual exclusivity in the body. The body can easily train two muscles at the same time, especially if they are synergists or they have no competing functions. So how do the biomechanics work during a pull-up? Well, if you're doing a pull-up like this, then it's actually not straightforward to see how the biceps is involved at all. If your hands are inward of your elbows, then it makes sense, because if this is the bar, you're holding a bar, and the biceps is flexing, which is this movement, then it's moving the bar down. But if the elbow is directly below the hand and you're pulling straight down and the biceps is doing this type movement, then the force is going sideways, which doesn't appear to be helpful, or does it? And even worse, if the elbow is more inward than the hand, so the hand is like this, then the elbow flexion, force going like this, would even theoretically be expected to move the bar up. So what's going on? Well, the problem is that this is only a biomechanical consideration of vertical forces. So let me illustrate it with my amazing pain skills. So here we have Hector. Hector is doing pull-ups. And if you just look at vertical forces, then he is pulling from two sides, right? And it's going straight down because that's gravity. Gravity pulls straight down. Now, you wouldn't be able to see how the biceps is involved at all, because technically the axis of rotation, the elbow, is directly below the hand. So there's no moment arm for elbow flexion. In reality, what's happening is that the biceps, because the bar is fixed and you cannot move the bar, the biceps is producing a horizontal inward force, which is like this, which means that the total resultant force factor of pulling down on the bar, but also pulling inward into the bar, creates a resultant force factor that goes somewhat like this. And now you see that the moment arm on the elbow is actually positive, because it's directly perpendicular to here the axis of rotation to the resultant force factor. So there is a positive moment arm for elbow flexion. And for the lats, for the shoulder, here we also have a resultant moment arm. If you were only considering vertical forces, it would be longer. You would think that it goes all the way from the shoulder to the elbow, the moment arm on the lats, and in general the back muscles that are producing shoulder adduction. This tells us two things. One, it explains why the biceps is involved at all. And two, it means that biceps involvement, horizontal force production from the biceps on the bar, reduces the moment arm for the back muscles, for the lats in particular, so the shoulder adduction moment arm. And that means essentially that the biceps and the back are working synergistically to lift the weight. Now, that sounds super intuitive, right? If the biceps is more active, the biceps is producing more force, it makes things easier for the back, essentially intuitively, because you're pulling on a fixed bar and the elbow flexion force goes kind of inward, but the bar cannot move, it's fixed, that inward force essentially helps you pull yourself up. And it makes it easier for the back. So one more time quickly to make sure everyone understands. Just looking at vertical forces, there would be no demands on the elbow and the moment arm would be like this. But that's not the case. There is actually some horizontal force this way, which means the resultant force factor goes kind of like this. And there is actually an elbow flexion moment arm and an adduction moment arm like this. So the biceps involvement makes things easier for the lats. This knowledge of biomechanics also allows us to understand why rows, especially with a dumbbell, are not as effective for the biceps. For example, we have a study by Manorino et al. That found that supinated dumbbell curls stimulate considerably more biceps growth, about twofold as much, literally double the growth pretty much, compared to supinated dumbbell rows. In general, rows don't appear to be very good biceps builders. The muscle activity levels, muscle damage levels in multiple studies is quite low, as opposed to pull down and pull up movements, and that's due to lower demands on elbow flexion.